It is one dessert that many will remember for the rest of their lives. I'm talking about the wedding cake. Here to show us what is new and delicious this year is the president of Cakes by Prairie Girl, Blacklock. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I love the creativity behind wedding cakes. People
Thank
complain that they're so much more expensive than a regular cake, but that's because there's so much work involved.
They're art, yes.
They really, really are. What colors work best for a cake heading into 2017 if you're looking to be on trend?
Right. Well, on trend really is to be unique. And I don't know if that's a good answer, but what we find with the couples that come is they want something in their wedding that's just for them. So whether that's the color.
A lot of pressure.
That's true. But whether it's the color of their wedding palette or whether there's a symbol on it that is meaningful to them, that's the #1 trend is like, let's just be ourselves.
All right, let's take a look at some of the examples you've brought here today.
Right.
This is stunning, and you said it looks like art.
Thank you. So this is our Dreaming in Watercolor cake. And for this, we start with basic white fondant, and then our couples can choose up to 3 colors. Here it's obviously pink, blue, and yellow. And our cake designer uses a watercolor technique where she paints the colors one at a time until you get this amazing, impressionist watercolor look.
Listen, I am not a wedding coordinator, but I like to pretend. This would be good, I'm guessing, for like a spring wedding or a summer wedding.
Right, but back to the unique thing for a moment. A couple could choose, say, gray as their watercolor, and so it could be gray and blue that would be quite romantic for a fall wedding.
You really can customize it to everything.
Yes.
This is amazing because it looks like a sculpture.
Yes, doesn't it?
And like it might break your teeth if you tried to bite into it. It looks that real.
Yes, but it's beautiful, delicious fondant, and buttercream is under it. So for this one, it is a really cool technique. We start again with the fondant, but rather than put it on the cake, the color that's chosen by the couple is briefly blended into the fondant. It's rolled out and then laid very carefully over the cake. Again, it can be in any color. This one is black, so it went to the grays. And then a couple can choose from rose gold, which is this one, or silver or gold for that little bit of highlight to really add the it's a rock look.
Yeah, well, talk about unique. I don't think I've ever seen a cake that looks like this before.
Yeah, it's one of the big trends for 2017.
Last trend here is ombre. We see this not just in wedding cakes, but birthday cakes, anniversary cakes as well.
Everything, yes. So I just want to note that this cake is a buttercream cake, which is popular with some couples that don't want the fondant. The fondant, as you can see, creates the incredibly elegant, beautiful look. It's also, to my taste, delicious. But for a couple that doesn't think that's cool, the buttercream cake is perfect for doing pastels, and it is absolutely delicious.
It's pretty, it's simple, it is really beautiful.
It is a simple look.
What is one of the most outlandish things anybody's ever asked you to design for a wedding cake?
Well, I think our masquerade wedding cake, it was, so picture the fondant but in black, like dark, like pure black, and then masks crafted of sugar and fondant in black and gold, and it was on October 31st. But it was a beautiful cake.
Oh, I love that. So we've talked about the icing on the outside, but let's talk about what's really important, what people are going to remember. What kind of flavors are people experimenting with?
So they can order any flavor that we offer, carrot, banana, red velvet, chocolate, or vanilla. And then they can also, they can get the different tiers. So I think you were mentioning earlier about a groom that liked carrot and the bride liked chocolate. This could be carrot, that could be chocolate, this could be vanilla. And then different fillings. And also there's vegan and gluten-free. So in the regular baking, that's, I guess, the majority of the weddings that we cater, but often someone in the party is gluten intolerant or prefers to eat vegan, so that's also not a problem.
And can you tell the difference between the gluten-free cake and the one full of everything else?
I know I'm biased, but I don't think so, especially with the delicious icing and the fondant. We have rave reviews from the gluten-free cakes.
What's one of the most, other than the masquerade cake, what's one of your favorite cakes that you've ever designed? A favorite look?
I think one of the trends last year really spoke to me, and that was the rustic farmhouse look. It was popular for weddings here in Toronto at the Distillery District, for instance, with gold leaf and on an antique tray. It just had a really simple, beautiful feeling.
Well, your website has a lot of really great ideas for anybody who's planning a wedding and looking for some creativity. Jean, thanks for being on Your Morning.
Thank you very much.
And can I eat any of these? Ben wanted me to ask you.
We're leaving that one.
Oh, here you go, Ben. I'm bringing this downstairs. Jean, thanks for being here today.